Today we're taking a look back at the Sony AX53 from 2016. Let's see how good it is in 2024. Brand new, they are about 800 euros, which is a lot because in 2016 when it was released it was 1000 euros, so it hasn't gotten a lot cheaper for the past 8 years. And they still haven't released a new model. But that doesn't mean that it is a bad camera. If you are someone who needs a camera with a large amount of zoom, that is very reliable, with good stabilization, then this is still a good option. And it is a very nice camera to use. It's very easy to operate and you can get a good image out of it without needing to adjust a lot of manual controls. And of course it doesn't have that smartphone look to it. Also, if you buy these cameras used, they are about half the price. So if you don't mind getting a slightly used one, then I definitely recommend doing that. And I will show you samples later in this video and you can clearly see that the image out of this camera is good enough, even sometimes for professional use. But the camera isn't perfect. If you are someone who wants to get a cinematic looking image with a lot of background blur or very good low light performance, then this isn't the camera for you. But now let's look at the good and the bad things of this camera. The first thing is the build quality, and I think it's decent. It's nothing amazing, it's also not terrible. It has this strap on the side and it is very comfortable in my opinion, and it's really easy to hold. You have easy access to the controls, so that's starting and stopping, the zoom, and the photo button. For the ports it has a headphone jack, but also a 3.5mm audio port if you want to record external audio, which is really nice. It also has a small HDMI port, but sadly not a full HDMI port, and there's a single SD card slot. Unlike the AX43, the 53 has a manual button that you can hold, and then you can adjust settings with the ring. So for example, I can select the shutter speed, and by turning the ring it adjusts it. And then if I hold again, I can quickly switch to something else, for example zoom. So the ring is a really nice feature in my opinion. But there aren't a lot of other buttons on the side, so you will be adjusting most of the settings with this manual dial or with the touchscreen. One really good thing about the AX53 is the battery life. It has removable batteries and you can get a small one if you want a light body, but also a larger one if you want to record for a very long period of time. And this camera can easily last a few hours even in the 4K mode. So this is definitely a good camera if you want a long battery life. The camera has a touchscreen and you can switch between menu settings. And the screen is really nice and it can also go pretty bright. It isn't the brightest when you have a lot of sunlight directed at you, but there is in the settings a feature to turn it on bright. The nice thing about these camcorders is that they have a flip screen, so you can use it to film yourself, or you can easily adjust the angle, so go low or high. And because of this it makes it so much easier to preview the shot, so this is a great camera for vlogging, for example. Another really good feature of the AX53 is the built-in lens. It has a 20x optical zoom, but it's also a Zeiss lens. And I'm a really big fan of this lens, because it also has a really close focus distance. And as someone who shoots a lot of product videos, that's something that I really need. So you can get some really nice detailed macro videos. And when you are all the way zoomed out, it has an aperture of f2, and fully zoomed in it's f3.9. But keep in mind that this is a very small sensor, so you won't get a lot of nice background blur. If you zoom in a lot on a small subject, then you might be able to get a little bit of background blur. But if you are someone who likes that blurry background, then this is definitely not the camera for you. And I think that the lens is also very sharp, because the images that you can get out of this camera look really nice. And it also has a nice quiet zoom. So the sensor size behind the lens is 1/2.5 inches. For a camcorder with a small sensor, the low light is actually pretty good. It is still a camcorder, so don't expect full frame low light performance. It's still better than most smartphones in my opinion. And if you want a brighter image, you can always turn on low lux. However, that will generate a bit more noise. You can always set the shutter manually to 25, or if you are in the NTSC region, to 30. This will help with the brighter image in low light. The autofocus of the camera isn't amazing. When I first got it, I thought it was completely fine, and it is. However, compared to the newer cameras that Sony has released, this is definitely not that good. And you notice that especially at telephoto length. So when you zoom in a lot, then it might need to take a second or two to focus. So the autofocus is decent, just don't expect the latest new Sony autofocus. Let's talk about the ease of use of this camera. I think it's amazing. You just flip open the screen, you can easily hit record and you will get a good looking image. And even in the full automatic mode it can still shoot some really nice images. So you don't have to adjust a lot of settings just to get a good image out of it, which is the case with a lot of other cameras. Another thing that I like about the AX53 is that it has automatic lens protection, so if you close it, it will also get a lens protector in front of the camera. There's also an AX43 and there are a few differences between that and this one. The 43 doesn't have this lens ring, it doesn't have this button to quickly switch between modes, it doesn't have the night shot feature, and there's no viewfinder on the 43. The viewfinder on the AX53 isn't that good. Yes, it works and it's nice that it's there, but the quality of the viewfinder is very bad and it feels sometimes a bit glitchy. Now let's talk about something really important, which is the video aspect of the AX53. Depending on which region you're in, it can shoot in 4K 25 and 1080p 100 fps or 4K 30 and 1080p 120 fps. I think it's really disappointing that it doesn't have 4K at 50 or 60 fps and it's also region locked. So you won't be able to change to 30 fps if you have the 25 fps model. And it has the ability to shoot in XAVC-S or AVC HD. But I really like the XAVC-S 4K 60 megabits per second. The file sizes are pretty big because it's 4K, but the results are really nice. You can see that it has a nice and detailed image. And I've even used this camera for professional work, but you do need to keep in mind its limitations. So a single SD card, it doesn't have ND filters or XLR ports, so it's not a professional camera. But you will be able to get some nice professional results with it. I really like the 4K image out of the AX53, but you can definitely see that it's worse quality when you are shooting in XAVC-S HD, and it will get worse when you shoot in AVC HD. And even though the AVC HD quality is definitely not amazing, it's still a nice option because you have the ability to get really small file sizes. Because it can shoot in Full HD at 100 fps, you will be able to get 4 times slow motion. So that's nice, and the image quality still looks pretty good. Another nice feature about this camera is the optical steady shot. Sony advertises it like it will replace your gimbal, but it sadly won't. When you are shooting, you will still get the handheld look out of the camera. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the balanced optical steady shot does eliminate a lot of those micro shakes, so you will be able to get some nice handheld footage. Just don't expect gimbal levels of stabilization. So it won't be extremely stable, but you will get pretty stable shots. I do have to say that I am not a big fan of the menu systems. It takes a while to change a setting, so if I want to go from 4K to 1080p 100 fps, I have to go in image quality and size, then select the XAVC-S HD. I have to wait a bit, then it goes back to the main screen, then I have to tap menu again, shooting mode and then high speed recording. There's also a multi-interface shoe on the top, so you can connect microphones to it or some other accessories. One big downside if you are a professional is that it doesn't have a full manual mode. You can only set the shutter speed or aperture and not both at the same time. Which is really weird because this is a camcorder meant for video. So if that's something you like, then this isn't the camera for you. The dynamic range of the camera isn't that good, and that's because it has a smaller sensor. So as you can see, it will overexpose some parts pretty quickly, so that's a bit disappointing. It also has a microphone on the top and it sounds decent, it's nothing amazing. But if you want better audio, then you can always attach a different microphone. So this was my review of the Sony AX53. Sadly, they still haven't released a new model and I hope they will soon. Do you still use this camera or are you planning on buying one? Let me know in the comments down below and thank you so much for watching.